Mother gave us an opportunity to do the Abhishekam and to chant Lalita Sahasranamam, how many names of Mother. And Agastya Maharishi wrote Lalita Sahasranamam and is very actively present along with Lobamudra in this temple. Many Maharishis she has granted us. Many, many times I had gone to the place where they meditated in Himalayas, and she has granted them to be here, because these Maharishis are in Jiva Samadhi. They are eternal beings. There is no death to them. And their thought process and what they had given, if they are here actively, and if we are aware of them, which is what I'm trying to tell you in the next 10-15 minutes, I think we have for the Alankaram to be completed. So I will share with you about the significance of today. It's a very, very significant day. Pradosham day, Triyodasi. 13th day, we do Pradosham. On this day, Nandikeshwara's activity is very predominant. And Nandikeshwara is the first aspect who saw creation. And he relates it to us. So it's good to get it from that entity. These are all cosmic entity. We have given them name and a form and personalized them. They're all cosmic entity. 330 million gods we have. These are all cosmic entity. We call them cosmic being. Then we say they're gods because they're not human. So there has to be something. So we call them cosmic entity. Today we did this function in front of Sri Chakra. That's very, very auspicious. Look how much kindness Parashakthi should have for us to be able to choose this day, the third Friday of Aadi. In the month of Aadi, all Fridays are very auspicious. What does it mean? Why should they be more auspicious? The movement of our solar system and all the various galactic movement, they are such certain time of the year, they're very auspicious. Like during Navaratri time, is very auspicious for Shakti. So we do special function during that time. Similarly, the month of Aadi, all Fridays are very auspicious for Mother's energy. So on that day, you think of her and you invoke her, honor her, and receive her by doing all this. Doing an Abhishekam, which is very important because we, with our love and affection and reverence, we do the Abhishekam. In this temple, Mother has said, anyone who comes and observes the Abhishekam sincerely and gets involved, I accept they doing Abhishekam for me. In other words, you, each one of us, did the Abhishekam. Priest represents us and does it. But Divine Mother accepts that as if we have done it. Can you imagine the auspiciousness of that? The result of that would be, she accepts it as if we have done the Abhishekam personally. So it's a very unique feature of this temple. She has done it in such a way, we get the most benefit, most cosmic benefit, not just a benefit for mind, body, intellect level, in the higher level, in the Atmic level, in the soul level. To do that, you have to do in a special day, special time, and special rituals. And this is the best day to do that because of the 13th day, and we do Pradosham. So same day, we get to do Pradosham. In one day, whatever time we spend is the most cost effective because it brings us most spiritual benefit. It brings us religious experience, which you are aware of. More than that, it brings a spiritual benefit, meaning it goes right to a soul level. That is spirit. That is the only aspect of Mother, or divine, or Parashakti aspect in us, in all the life form. So that is the most important because that is eternal. There is no birth or death to that. So we have to realize it, know it, and accentuate it, and use it to get the divine grace. So it's very, very logical. There's nothing mystical about it. It's very logical. But you have to know it. So today being the third Friday, she manifests as Kali Kamba. The first Friday, she manifests one form. Second Friday, she manifests as Agilan Parameshwari. Third Friday is mostly Kali Kamba. Her bija as a cream, Dum can also be Kali, Mahakali aspect is the most predominant. And that aspect is most beneficial to us. Why? Because in the final stage of our travel, I say final stage, but actually it's the beginning stage for the next set, end of our life, but beginning of the next very important, higher conscious world we are going into. And there she comes. That is why those bijas, you should remember them. And here, most of you who come to most of you are invited by her. By her meaning Parashakthi. If you are not invited, you won't be here. You may give all the reason why you are here, but you are here because your soul hungered for her. And you have divine grace. So on this day, she would invite you. And you will come here. Many people outside the state, they come in very unusual ways. So I know these are direct invitation from Paramatman to Atman. Such a wonderful, wonderful place. And what a wonderful house of hers she is granting us. This place, by Navaratri time, would look glorious. All these things will go away. There will be a regular Sannidhanam. It will match, it will match the Rajagopuram. A very ancient look. Because that's important. Looks are very important. The stones are very important. The energy is very important. Rest of it is not that important. We had to cover her, so we give. And this aspect of Mother is the first aspect who came to us. When she came, the first Vigraha we installed was her. You may not know that, but she was the first one. Now she's back again to make sure we do the Homa properly and all the cosmic energy which visits us gives us the grace. So she makes sure. So she's back here as Mahamai. And 4 months ago, she invited me to her place, which is in Himalayas, about 13,000 feet, close to Kedarnath, Badrinath, Devaprayag, Rudraprayag. These are all very holy parts of Himalayas. The district of Tehri, most of the holy spots are there. And the top of the mountain, top of the peak, they have built a temple for Mahamai. And they call her Chandra Vadana, which is very proper. Chandra is mind. Only through mind you understand what I say. So mind is very important. Even though Vedas would say it's illusory, but without that you would never have a chance to know the divine. So you need the mind. And the mind is equated with Chandra. Atman is equated with the soul. That is seat of the soul is vibrating here. And the vibration is a creation. The Om, the Sabda, Nada, Bindu, it's a vibration. And if you go and study quantum physics, that's exactly what they say. Everything is vibration. Whatever we receive in the physical form, they all start with the vibration. And our Shastras knew that. That's why the Nada Bindu is a prime origin of creation. The vibration. When the vibrations start after Pralaya, there's a period when there's no creation. Everything is quiet. There's no activity. If there's no vibration, there's no activity. If there's no activity, there's no need for us to do anything. So all these fundamental principles are in our Shastras. If you understand them and know them, and you will know them because she has invited you. And she's going to grant you a wonderful place. Hopefully by Navaratri we'll have it, if not soon after that. But this will all be constructed. So she's giving us, she's granting us not only her grace, but the place to receive the grace, it's important. Because our mind programming is to receive it in a place where you feel divine is very actively present. And this place, divine is very actively present. She makes sure we keep all the cosmic energies of her, 330 million. But in Sri Chakra, there is 660 million of cosmic energy. What are they? They are the activity of divine. And each one we give a name and a form, and they become a devata. There's a name and a form. It's important because without an abstract thought process, it's very difficult to relate to. So we need something tangible we can relate to. But to relate to, you have to understand. The most important thing, you have to have what I call is grace. Grace is something you earned it in many, many lifetimes, not in one lifetime. Grace is something which is in your Atman. She gave it and you accepted it. That's called great, divine grace. And all of you have it, otherwise you won't be here. So I know that. And to reach it in a scientific manner, you say Kundalini has to be active. The Kundalini energy has to be active. And in us, it is active because Ganesha is in Mooladhara and he is the beginning of wisdom and is sitting in Mooladhara. And then we raise it up to various levels to Sahasrara. Then it comes back. The travel of Kundalini is a gnosis. And who is sitting up there? Please look at her when you come. Give her the recognition. She is Nilavani Ambika, Mahasaraswati. That gives you the wisdom. She grants you the wisdom, the Sattvic aspect. There is Tamasic, there is Rajasic and Sattvic. We need all three. Tamasic is given to Mahakali. Today is our day, in this Friday. Because you do need that aspect to start the travel. Then you go to Rajasic. Most of our life is Rajasic. We are very active. That's Rajasic, Rajas. Then Sattvic is the final realization, the result of all the wisdom, all the knowledge that is perceived as Sattvic. Peace, wisdom, all the positive, all the goodness, all the nicety that is perceived in Rajasic, in a Sattvic form. And she is Sattvic. Mahakali is Tamasic. Why would that be? Mahakali is so active. She sits, she dances on Shiva. No, that Tamasic doesn't mean dullness alone. It is a beginning. It's like a mass and energy. Mass is energized. So that you have to create. So from that guna, and the gunas are the beginning of creation. The creation starts with these gunas. Everything, every atom, every element has these three gunas. That is science. So our religion is very scientific. But we have to understand what they mean by that. And our shastras say those things, but you may not relate to it the way it's meant. But here in this temple, she is here. She will give you the wisdom, understanding, the knowledge, and the grace. And to reach that stage, you have invoked her many, many times. Like Krishna Bhagavan tells Arjuna, I have seen you 4.4 lakhs, 400,000, 40 times as life form. And I observed you, you don't know me. You know me only now. And even that didn't convince Arjuna that this is telling the wise thing. Then he showed the Visvarupa. There Arjuna sees the whole battle is over. He is arguing with him. Should I kill them? Should I fight with them? They are my uncles, my gurus. How can I kill them? That is not dharma. He says, no, dharma is different. You have to do your duty. That's the way the world evolves. And you have to do it. Do it with no malice. This is a war. You're taking the responsibility. You do that. And then he shows his Visvarupa. He shows the whole thing, whole universe in his body. Then Arjuna realizes, this is Paramatma. This is not Krishna as he knew. He is a Paramatma. He came as Krishna and then he took the bow and fought. It's a beautiful theme, the Mahabharata. It's a very nice theme. And all this you think of on this day. On this day, you think of Mahakali, how she dances in the crematorium. Strange, isn't it? In the crematorium she dances. Mahakaliyai cha vidmahe smashana vasini aise dhimahe tanno gora prachodya. That is Gayatri. What a beautiful. Mahakaliyai cha vidmahe smashana. Smashana means crematorium. Vasini aise dhimahe tanno gora prachodya. That word gora I can't explain to you. The most horrible aspect of life, Gora. She wants you to see it because you're going to go to the next step. So experience everything, and I'll come with you at the time of departure, so you won't be going into a new place. I would be with you. But to invoke me, you have to go through these functions, these rituals to get to know her. Who is Mahakali? What is her Gayatri? So invoke her with this beautiful Gayatri. So every deity has a Gayatri. You say Vidmahe, Dhimahe, and Prachodya. Vidmahe means you're asking Mahakali, tell me about you, everything about you. Who else can tell you better than her? From whom you can learn it better than her? When she explains it. So Mahakali Aicha Vidmahe. And Smashana Vasini, you're staying in crematorium because I'm transiting from this slavery. I say slavery meaning we are caught in the mind, body, intellect shell, which has engulfed us. At the time of birth itself, the Maya has taken over. You do not know reality. You do not know your self, your soul. You only know your mind, body, intellect, and ego identification. So we are trapped at the time of birth. Now we see a tremendous challenge you have. How could you know something when you're trapped in the beginning itself? I know as Kumar. That's me. I'm a physician, Kumar. All the things I know, it's a temporary aspect of me. That's all I know. I do not know myself. To wake up the self and realize the self, I need a grace. And she has given it abundantly. Like this trip, this yatra I made 4 months ago, all of you, I did all the rituals as she asked me to do. And the result is she has given us today as third Friday. We have 5 Fridays this month. Usually it's 4. This time we had given her 5. Next Friday would be Kamakshi, Ambika. And the last Friday would be Mahalakshmi. So meaningfully she has given one aspect very profoundly on that day. And to do that, you have to go through the rituals. You have to participate in that. Unless you know a place where she's very actively present, you won't have a chance. Here, she has invited you and she's given you a place of hers. It's her place. People who are involved, they know, like Nagapan is a director. He does a lot of work. The Kannan and Dilip and Puna, all these people are blessed people. They do a lot of work. From their perspective, they spend a lot of time. But what benefit? I watch them with amazement. How blessed that soul would be to be able to come and take her that much. She gives herself to us. But to consume her, you have to give yourself, give ourselves. That's why the word sacrifice is very important in all the religion, not just Hinduism. The reason is when you sacrifice, you give a part of the soul and you connect from the Atman to Paramatman. Otherwise, I can only connect with my mind and intellect, which is not very profound. Atman is very profound. I have to realize I have that. That is me. I am not this. But I need this. So don't listen to anyone who says, this is all illusion, don't care. No. This is reality. She exists, he exists. They are real. I have to know them and then work on them and gain a higher knowledge. Vijnanamaya. Then comes Anandamaya. Mind, body, intellect is one level. That's all we know. Now we are special. She has given a place. She has made sure all the rishis are invited. And Agastya Maharishi is very active today because he wrote Lalita Sahasranama And we invoked her with the Lalita Sahasranama. And these are very meaningful. For somebody to go through that on this day, at this time, is very auspicious. And the sacrifice is what you do. When we do the renovation, you should participate. I participate whatever I can, whatever fun. You participate with your service, they're giving you service. Nagappan had given close to $100,000. So they give money. They give the service. In return, they get divine. When Jobs died, Apple founder, he had $20 billion worth of Apple stock. What did he take with him? Nothing. That minute he's gone, there's no connection. He must have been a good soul, I'm sure. He has done many charitable stuff. So those are the investment. And you would have taken return on the investment. But as far as Apple stock, he didn't get any return. It's left to whoever his descendants are. But the investment is what you sacrifice. So you would have given to many charity like Bill Gates does. All these people do charities, and that's the only investment with return. Anything else, there is no return. I'm saying return in the long-term investment. Long-term, I'm meaning not 100 years, not one lifetime, many, many lifetimes. You want to invest, right? Invest for a long-term, real return. This is real return because it accentuates the soul, and soul transits and goes in different phases, and it carries. If you invest. And what these people, all these volunteers, people who help in the construction, they have wonderful investment. They'll get wonderful return, long-term return, real return, not illusory return. The return we say in all these funds you invest on, that's okay, you need to do that. But you got to use it. Money is useful when you use it properly. Without the proper use, having money itself is not. You enjoy it in a temporary, short term, by short term I mean one lifetime, maybe 100 years, whatever. No, you want a long-term, permanent return. That places like this, where Mother is active, the energies are active, Devatas are active, Devis are active, Maharishis are active, all the cosmic energies are active. Because our destiny is not just finish up human and go to Vaikuntha. You will do that. You'll go there and have restful Ananda. But you'll come back. Your destiny is to become part of her, ultimately. How long it'll take? Maybe billion years. I don't know, each one of you. Ultimately, that is the end point when we go back to the origin, and that is our destiny. We will. It may take a long time, but enjoy it. Don't look at life as sadness and sorrow, which it is. Life has many sadness, many sorrow. But if you look at it this way, there's an investment for my soul. The sadness and pain and suffering is my mind, body, intellect, which I'm going to shed. But my soul is going to get stronger and go to higher realm of consciousness. Does it make sense? Very simple, very logical, what I say. And to do that, I need my mind, body, intellect, ego identification, whatever it is. You may say, oh, the poor soul, made anything of himself. But that's a wrong statement, because you don't know what that soul made of himself. He might have related to divine. He might have connected to cosmic energy. Many of you, I know, Kundalini is active. When the Kundalini is active, you connect, you communicate. She talks. Many of you, she communicates, she talks. This is talking Devi in this place. The reason is she is building it. We are not building it. Many, many things we are going to do. It will be magnificent. You won't even imagine how it will be in 2 years from now. It will take that long. We will have a pond, a temple pond, because there's one deity, she is waiting. Her name is Ambuja. She said, I've been granting grace to my devotees, but nobody knows me. But you have to know them. If you are not aware, you won't get the full value, full effect. So you have to be aware. So I thought, how can I make you be aware? The tank. She is Apa. She's water. She's a water deity. 70% of us is water. So I'll build, and when you come in, you'll see her. You'll see her activity. That's one way of knowing and be aware of it. There may be other ways which she will tell you how to. So I'm just giving you an example how kind, how personal she is to do this to us. We are of inconsequent beings. There are billions and billions of galaxies. Our solar system has billions. And our Earth is just one thing, and we are a very small being. But we can comprehend very high level of comprehension. You don't have to be a highly developed being. With this mind, you can reach high. And that's why at the time of transition from this life to next life, she comes. Because we cremate. That is our tradition. Because we don't attach or give importance to the mind, body, intellect aspect. So we cremate. In a way it's good, but in a way it's bad, because look at Egyptians. They kept everything because they really thought they're going to carry. You cannot carry. This mind, body, intellect is gone. It's gone. That mind is gone. But we knew, so we cremate. And personally, I like that. But I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, because many civilizations didn't accept it, but ours is accepting it. So think of that. Chance to participate during construction of her house, designed by her, made by her. But we still have to go through the rituals. Go to the city, get the permit, build, all those mundane stuff, we still have to do it. That is our chance to gain the grace. She's giving a chance. If she miraculously makes it, she can. But then we won't have a chance to do our part and earn that part. So again, it's logical. So sacrifice is important. That word I don't like, because it doesn't seem right to me to say something I'm gaining, something Mr. Nagapan is gaining. Is he sacrificing? But he is. Comes here, sits here, organizes it, communicates with you, goes to the city, communicate with them, build it. These are all, it's a corporation with many activities and many volunteers. But I look at it this way. She has given us a chance to earn. If she hasn't given the chance, I won't earn. I won't even know. I would know there's goddess, there's a divine, in a mental level, like our Shastras teach us. But this is not that level. It's a higher level, Vijnanamaya. She is actively present. She does everything logically. Like I went to Himalaya, I didn't think I would even make it. So when I was climbing up, I thought I won't be able to make it. Because of the breathing, I didn't have time to acclimatize. So I went straight from Delhi to Rishikesh and to Himalayas. That's a stupid thing to do. There's one of the devotee, prime devotee. From the beginning, she was here because mother communicated with her. I don't know, some of you would know Dr. Keski, very distinguished internist at Beaumont. She, month of January, brought this oxygen tank. Little ones. They're not big oxygen tank. Now they have little ones. You can carry. She gave it to me. Said, Dr. Kumar, mother tells me I have to give it to you. I didn't realize that I'm so dumb, I won't even take it. I didn't take it. Middle of the climb, I thought I'm not going to make it, because you need to acclimatize. You need a couple days to acclimatize. But if I'm dumb enough to do that, I deserve not to make it. But luckily, she knows I'm needed here. If I leave it right now, the whole thing will stop, because there's a plan by her. That plan has to be concluded. So I have to be a participant. So I know I would not die. And I didn't. But when you do stupid things, you have to pay a price. And mother will take care of it. But we have to do everything logically. Do your best, and she will do it. If you're stupid enough not to even take, the poor doctor brings it to me, I don't take it. I know the reason. Because, again, the reason. I'm going through a time where my Jupiter is in the bad house. And I don't have the wisdom. It'll make me do dumb thing like that. The Jupiter, Guru. But I can't give that an excuse. I know it, but I have to overcome. That's why the Jupiter is in that house. For me to overcome. I can't just say, oh, this is my planet. it made me do that. Devil made me do it, like people say. No, devil doesn't make it. You do it. And you pay a price. Like I said, in our tradition, there is no punishment. There's nothing like hell or heaven. Karma, your soul evolves. And it goes through good or bad, depending on what you do. So our tradition is very superior. There's nothing like even a sin, fundamental level. Nothing is considered sin. You evolve. You may take 1 billion years, I may take 100 million years. But ultimately, I will reach her. But in this place, she has given herself so nicely, so kindly, so profoundly. So you're all blessed. And you earned it. Nothing is given to us free. You have to earn it. Right? Okay. I'm asking him, is there time? Because I'm just using this time to share with you this information. Some of you it may not be meaningful, then you can go to the temple and pray if you don't like it. But whatever I think you should know, I share it. Because awareness, the word awareness is everything. If you're not aware of something, that thing doesn't exist. That is science. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle is connected to that. A physicist would know that. Unless a thing is being made aware, it doesn't exist. How can that be? Pluto always existed. Neptune always existed. But the effect of the planet, like Freud came out with the psychological things after Neptune was identified. Neptune was connected to sex. Pluto is connected to atom. And after that was discovered, quickly many information about atom is related to us. So that statement is correct. Unless something is made aware, it doesn't exist. Which seems counterintuitive, and Einstein never accepted it. That was the downfall of Einstein. He never accepted it. He said it cannot be. Something there is there. Just because I'm aware, it doesn't exist. It existed. A forest existed. But science says no. Unless someone has identified, it doesn't exist. Isn't it very counterintuitive? So he never accepted it. But now they did 10,000 experiments in quantum physics. All of them agreed with this finding. That something is not made aware, it doesn't exist. Which is counterintuitive, but it's the truth. They could not disprove it. Einstein in his 50s was a very unhappy man. I think he passed away in 50s. And he wrote an article in Boston Globe, and he said, even though I have Divine has given us special brain, I must lack something because I could not accept it. And all the experiments are telling me that's the truth. So he was honest to admit it. Can you imagine the best brain? His brain was very unique, very thick, and lots of synapses, 10 times more than us. So he was a very special being. But still, intelligence is one. Wisdom is connected to Ganesha and Mahasaraswati. That is a little different than intellect. You can be very intelligent. You can be genius. But wisdom is different. That comes from divine. Okay, I think it's time I stop. So, wonderful day, special day, Prayogam day. We have time. Okay. He says I have time. 5 minutes, huh? $15 minutes? Okay. I can give you hundreds of information. Because in this temple, so many miraculous things happen. I can go on talking. Because divine here, there are many yakshinis. You know who is a yakshini? Gupera is a yaksharaja. Those are all cosmic energies. There are millions and millions of them. 660 million in the Sri Chakra. And Shastra says we have 330 million guards. These are all cosmic energy. They manifest as higher beings. They are not human. In other words, they are not restricted. They are different beings. Purely energy aspect. This temple is full of them. And many of you have communicated with them. They come and talk in this temple. If you are sincere or aware of those energy. So I give lots of respect. I do. See here, in this temple, she said one thing when she came to me 50 years ago and again 25 years ago. She said, now time has come. My children need me and the world is going to go through major crises. You have to build the house and bring all the actions to protect them, the protective aspect. So you have to do it before 2000. So we rushed. We did many legal things, in other words, didn't get permits and things like that, and built it. But we completed it 1999 October. Because she said, those actions have to be here to protect the world. And as soon as the time came, 2000 started. The whole world changed after the attack on New York. The whole thing changed. Life has changed a lot after that attack. Every day it has changed. Then many, many natural calamities. What we are going through now is one example. It's a plague. It's highly contagious. 100 years ago it came, it killed 33 million people. This time it won't kill that many, maybe a million or 1.5 million, because she will mitigate it. And as time goes on, it'll pass. But she predicted it. Many, many things like that will happen. So my forces, meaning yakshinis, it's all one. It all comes from one. No? It all comes from divine, but it's all various aspects of one divine, which is Parameshwari, Lalita Tripura Sundari, and all her from Mahamayi. Mahamayi would be the prime, the first creation, and the vibration starts. From that would be Tirumurtis. And after Tirumurtis with their own Shaktis, the transcendence. You can see the Bindu on top of Sri Chakra. That will be then. There is 43 triangles. Each one has millions and millions of Shaktis, Devatas. I won't go into it, but that is the symbolism of Sri Chakra. And she sits on top of it. That's why we say she's the empress. She sits on top of Sri Chakra. She's vibrating. She's creating. She thought, I can't be all alone. I want life forms to be created and to activate so I can enjoy. I can see myself through you. Essentially, that's what she's doing. She has created everything and she observes us through them. So sometimes when I do things which are not auspicious, I say, why do you have to put up with me? It's very unkind. It's very even unkind to invite you and invoke you because we are not pure beings. We are highly impure. Our mind because Dhumra Lochana, Dhumra Lochana? During Navaratri time we will explain who is Dhumra Lochana, how we have to slay him. Every second is active in us. Mind will keep on wandering. All the thought process, billions and billions, that is Dhumra Lochana. He is in us and he has to be controlled and she will give us energy to control. So during Navaratri, we go through the process where she slays him. Ultimately, the highest one is Chanda and Munda, and Chanda would be the highest one among them. And he is destroyed by her. So it's very logical. When she creates Asuras and Devas. Why? Why should she create Asuras? Because without them, there is no ascension. For this soul to grow up and go to higher level of consciousness, I need to overcome certain restrictions. The restriction is Maya. So overcome that and go to higher level of comprehension. Now you know why Asuras are very needed. But you have to control them. Like Kartikeya is a prime example. He controlled the Asuras and they became his vehicle. So Mother says, you listen to me, I will make you control the Asuras. They will become your vehicle. What a beautiful concept. And Kartikeya is an example of that. All his vehicles are Asuric energies, which he conquered. Mighty energies, they are not ordinary beings, mighty beings. He conquered them and they became his vehicle. So she says, I had given you that. You all have Asuras in you. First acknowledge them. Know they are there. No evil is there in you. You have to overcome them. First level is acknowledgement. Most spiritual things don't even acknowledge the existence of Asuras. But in our tradition, it's fundamental. You have to know your asuras. And who are they? All the basic emotions. Lack of kindness, greed, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, maksharya. All those energies. Those are the asuras. So be aware of them and have Mother's grace, which will identify them in you, and she will let you control them. Can you imagine if you can control them? But you have them. You know it. I don't have to convince you. We have kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mata, maksharya. Each one we have different levels. I may have it less, or you may have it less than me. But they are there. They will be there unless I acknowledge them and she identifies them for me and she gives me the wisdom and the energy. And Ma Saraswati gives me the knowledge to know how to bring my sattvic aspect of them. Every element has tamasic, rajasic and sattvic. You have to control tamasic and energize them, make them rajasic, and then ultimately to enjoy them, Paramananda, you have to know sattvic. Bhoga and moksha, contradictory. Oxymoronic. You know oxymoron means cannot exist. Like a good, bad cannot be. Either it's good or bad or different level. That is like that. Bhoga and moksha. She has said, you bring my children, identify me to them. I will give them bhoga and moksha. No Shastra you will see that. They will say, look at many religions, like Buddhism is prime example. They are nihilistic. They say life is misery. Accept it as misery, don't expect anything. Quickly shed it and go. But what Krishna Bhagavan says, no. Life is precious. Nurture it. Make it grow. Use it. Enjoy it. It's a gift from Divine Mother. Use it. What a beautiful concept. Bhoga moksha and yoga moksha. Yoga moksha you all know. But in that where you elevate yourself, you go through Patanjali's steps to yama, niyama, pratihara, asanas, pranayama, dharana, dhyana and samadhi. Those are the stages. You can go through that. But ultimately what Mother says, be kind. Be pure. In other words, be kind to me. How can you be kind? Because one of the action is during my prayogam. I do what is called prayogam. Yoga is different, prayoga is different. And one actually asked me, what can you do for Divine Mother? She's Mother of all. No, I said she wants me to expose her to the earthlings. And whoever I come into contact, whatever I can, I will do so for them to know her. That's all I can do for her. Otherwise, nothing I can do for her because she not only created us, she is us. She is the universe. That's a beautiful concept, by the way. In our tradition, there is no creator and the created. The minute you think of it, you separated it. Every religion says creator and the created. Ours, no. She is a creator and she is a created. She exists in us as Atman. Every life form, in different level of consciousness, different level of ascension. In Earth, we are the highest form, but in different planets, the billions and billions, there are beings which are much higher. They'll be pure energy forms, like Yakshinis, Mohinis, Vidyadharas, Gandharvas. All those are non-human. Anything non-human is divine. And these are all divine forms. And I accept all of them as a divine being, part of Mother, but higher beings than me. I am lower than them. But there are many lower forms. Show kindness to them, because they're all Mother. So that kind of a concept, and once you understand, you will become nicer person. You'll become compassionate person. You'll become smarter person. You'll become richer person. She'll give us all the energy. And to be here on this day, to observe this and participate, and even the information I gave you, you think. That's why I say Vidmahe, Dhimahe and Prachodayat. Vidmahe means you give me the information, I'll contemplate on that. Dhimahe. Prachodayat means You come into me. In other words, you become me. So every Gayatri, you are asking that deity, come into me and become me. What you are asking for? It's a high boom. But you have to work towards that. And many of you, ritualistic or non-ritualistic, some of you are ritualistic, you know the ritual, some of you are not ritualistic. Doesn't matter. Purity is different. That comes from nicety, compassionate, kindness, generosity, lack of selfishness, lack of unkindness, lack of meanness. All those things, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, makshariya, this world is full of them. And she created it. But if she has not created it, we won't have any use. There's no need for us to be here. There's no challenge, there's no need, and we would not be going to higher level of consciousness unless we confront them. Unless you are human, confront them, then go to higher level. So unlike some other religions which are nihilistic, you know the word nihilistic means useless, pain, suffering, sorrow. Yes, we have it, but we use it in a productive way. Even a suffering, I use it to help some other form. So anything you can use it, and she wants you to use it. And when you use it, it is not a pain anymore because you have benefited from that. Your mind is in a higher state of existence, and that's a secret to sadness, pain, and suffering. Like if somebody asked me about one particular person, this person was born rich, beautiful, handsome, high education, high family, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. To me, that life has not been that meaningful. Okay, he hasn't faced any hardship. You have to face hardship. I do. And I take it as a gift from her. It's a way I take it. I use it. And Bhoga, she will give you, enjoy it. But remember, it has to be productive for others too. Sharing and kindness, generosity. These are the beautiful traits. And this will make you happy. Any unhappiness you have will go away when you think of someone else suffering, and you can make a difference to that someone else. That fact alone makes you happy. That unhappy situation improves. So anyway, these are all philosophies. I'm sure you can read books. It's all there. But all I said is there. But I'm just giving you practical aspect. Most importantly, what is given us, which you cannot get by reading, by anything, which is the grace. That we have. And that is something earned in many lifetimes. Okay, time is up. And next week would be Mother Kamakshi's aspect. Today is Mahakali. Think of Mahakali. Think of crematorium. Think of the Bija, cream, and Dhum. That's a Bija. And Mahalakshmi's Bija, Ashwin. We know it. Thank you.